I forgot Star Trek. The Next Generation had another first officer besides Riker. When you think about Star Trek, The Next Generation, it's almost impossible not to picture Commander William T. Riker seated confidently at Captain Picard's right-hand side on the bridge of the USS Enterprise D. With his charming smirk, beard that defined an era, and his occasional habit of swinging one leg dramatically over a chair to sit down, Riker was the first officer. For 7 seasons and 4 feature films, Jonathan Frakes' portrayal of Riker became an iconic part of Star Trek's DNA. So it's easy to forget, or maybe never even realize, that someone else briefly held the role of first officer on the Enterprise D before Riker did. Her name was Commander Shelby. And for a moment, just a fleeting 2-parter, she nearly stole the spotlight. The Borg crisis that shook the chain of command. Commander Elizabeth Shelby enters the stage in the Best of Both Worlds, arguably TNG's most iconic 2-parter. As a specialist in Borg tactical analysis, Shelby is assigned to assist the Enterprise after the first devastating Borg encounter in Q-Who. Starfleet is terrified of the Borg's return, and Shelby is the Federation's best chance to prepare. But it's not just her intellect that makes an impression, it's her ambition. She storms onto the bridge, unapologetically sharp, confident, and clearly eyeing the first officer's chair. At one point, she directly tells Riker, "If you're not going to take your next step, I'd like to be considered for the job." That's not something many officers would dare say to their superior's face, but Shelby does it without blinking. It's a shock to the system, for both the characters and the audience. Shelby's presence reminds us that Starfleet is a competitive organization, and Riker's years-long refusal of his own command offers opportunities for rising stars like her. And then the unthinkable happens. Picard is assimilated by the Borg. Riker is forced to take command of the Enterprise. With him now in the captain's chair, Shelby becomes acting first officer. For a brief but critical moment, The Next Generation had a different number 1. A different kind of first officer. Watching Shelby and Riker clash over command decisions is one of the most thrilling dynamics of the Best of Both Worlds. She challenges him, questions him, and doesn't shy away from confrontation. Unlike the usual dynamic between Picard and Riker, a dance of mutual respect and quiet confidence, Shelby brings friction and fire to the role. In a way, Shelby embodies everything Starfleet values: drive, intelligence, tactical brilliance, and boldness. But in the context of the Enterprise D's tight-knit bridge crew, she's also a foreign element, someone who disrupts the family dynamic, especially when tensions are already high with the Borg on the horizon. This is perhaps why she doesn't remain aboard after the crisis. Once Picard is rescued and Riker declines another command opportunity, Shelby is reassigned. But in that short window, she gave us a glimpse of what the Enterprise could have looked like with a very different first officer, someone more volatile, more aggressive, and possibly more ready to challenge the captain's decisions. Why we forgot Shelby. So why does Shelby slip through the cracks of our collective Star Trek memory? Part of it is simply screen time. She appears in just 2 episodes and never returns to the Enterprise again. Riker, by contrast, was in every episode of TNG and most of the films. Shelby's time was fleeting, like a shooting star in the Trek universe. Another reason is the way TNG maintains a status quo. Even after Picard is kidnapped and Riker promoted, everything ultimately resets. By the start of the next season, the crew is back to normal. The bold shakeup that Shelby represented disappears with the end credits. Riker remains first officer. The Enterprise sails on. Also, Shelby's attitude made her divisive. While some fans appreciated her moxie and modern leadership style, others found her abrasive, especially when contrasted with Riker's more measured and affable persona. She didn't fit in with the vibe of the crew, and perhaps that made her easier to forget. Shelby's return in a way. Interestingly, Elizabeth Shelby did make a return to Star Trek, albeit decades later. In Star Trek, Picard Season 3, she reappears as an admiral, commanding the fleet during Frontier Day. It's a brief but powerful callback, showing how far she's come in the ranks. She even takes command of the Enterprise F, underscoring her long-standing ambition and competence. Her reappearance serves as a subtle reward for longtime fans, proof that Starfleet never forgot her, even if many viewer